Hello, I'm Tanina Ashby and welcome to this MBL webinar on risks for conveyancers and acting under delegated authorities for attorneys and deputies. Today I'm going to cover a few different things. We're going to look at powers of attorney, different types of power of attorney and the validity of these documents. They're going to be things that you're coming across quite frequently, but this is a way to just consolidate your knowledge and make sure that when you are acting under these powers, you know and can rely on the documents that you've got. Looking at powers that attorneys can have under these documents as well, and specific transactions and how that interacts with what you're doing for them. We're also going to look at deputy orders and the Court of Protection, and again, the authorities that are granted under deputy orders, so that you can be confident when you're acting on instructions from deputies in relation to conveyancing transactions. We're going to touch a bit on co-ownership and trustee functions, particularly for incapacitated trustees and those delegated authorities. And finally, finishing off with some information about other considerations to make when you're doing transactions for people, a bit more due diligence and considerations of the wider circumstances surrounding the transactions that you're instructed on. So looking first at different powers of attorney, different sort of types of power of attorney, and lasting powers of attorney are going to be the ones that you're coming into contact with most frequently. You'll be familiar with the two different types of document, one covering property and financial affairs and the other covering health and welfare decisions. And it's the property and finance document, of course, that you would need to see as conveyancers to be able to take instructions on property transactions. Powers of attorney have to be registered before they can be used, and we'll cover that when we're looking at the validity of these documents as well, and the sort of things that you'll be looking out for to check that those documents can be relied on. I'll cover off a little bit as well about enduring powers of attorney and general or specific powers of attorney. They're less frequently used now just because lasting powers of attorney have overtaken those, and those are the documents that can be made, but you may still come into contact with general powers of attorney and enduring powers of attorney. So we'll cover off again the sort of functionality of those documents. But those are the three main types of power of attorney that you may be coming into contact with.